Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies. Today we're looking at this 2010 Ford F-150 with a 5.4 liter engine in it. This will be the same, or a lot of these components will be the same for the 2009 to 2014 year models. Some components are more for the 2009-2010, but we'll go over that in this video. This is your underhood label. It gives you a lot of useful information about your vehicle, such as the engine size, the engine family number, and the emissions family number, and what emissions components are on your vehicle. We're going to start off here on the rear side of the engine. Under the firewall, you're going to find your emissions vapor canister purge solenoid. This solenoid is responsible for allowing built-up vapors in the emission system to flow through that little hose right there and into the intake, and that allows the emissions to go through the combustion process and through the catalytic converter to hopefully get cleaned up by the time it goes out of the tailpipe. Next, we're going to go over the emissions components under the vehicle. Down here on the driver's side frame rail, pretty much right at the center of the vehicle, right next to the transfer case, you're going to find the vapor canister. This stores vapors that are built up in the fuel system and allows them to be sent through the vapor vent or the vapor purge solenoid to relieve that pressure of the built up vapors. Look for links in the description for part number and places to buy this if needed. Let's move on to the vapor canister vent solenoid right here on the cap or the end of the vapor canister. This is the vapor vent solenoid. This allows built up vapors in the vapor system to release into the atmosphere. It also opens up to allow fresh air into the EVAP system if necessary. So if you're having a problem pumping gas, like you're clicking off really quick, the vapor vent solenoid might be the issue. There are other things that are involved, but it's very common that the vapor vent solenoid goes bad and causes that issue. When the vehicle is off and there's no power applied to this solenoid, it should stay open to release the pressures. When the vehicle is turned on and power is applied to this solenoid, it should close and open as needed or commanded by the computer. Again, vapor vent solenoid, links in the description and part numbers to buy and purchase this part if needed. Now we're going to take a look at the oxygen sensors on this vehicle. Here on the driver's side is going to be your bank 2. The oxygen sensor up on front of the catalytic converter right out of the exhaust manifold, that is going to be your bank 2 sensor 1 oxygen sensor. That sensor is responsible for giving the computer information it needs to adjust the air-fuel mixture in the combustion chamber to give you optimum power and efficiency of your vehicle. The oxygen sensor in the middle of the catalytic converter is going to be your bank 2 sensor 2 oxygen sensor. These also might be air-fuel ratio sensors. That'll tell you on the underhood label itself. So the bank 2 sensor 2 oxygen sensor is only responsible for giving information to the computer of how efficient the catalytic converter is working. The oxygen sensor going into the catalytic converter should see a rich to lean mixture change, and the rear oxygen sensor should see a flat pattern. So it shouldn't be rich, it shouldn't be lean, it should just be flat, cleaned up. So the rear oxygen sensor is there to measure the efficiency of the catalytic converter. If you have a circuit code, that means the oxygen sensor is probably bad or you have a short somewhere. If you have a catalyst below efficiency code, more than likely, and you have more than 100,000 miles, more than likely the catalytic converter itself is bad and should be replaced. Let's move along to the bank 1 side. Heading over to the passenger side, this is going to be your bank 1 side. Sorry I didn't get the best view of your upstream oxygen sensor, but hopefully it gives you an idea of where it's at to get your project started and get everything fixed for you. Right there, your bank 1 sensor 2, that is going to be the sensor in the center of the catalytic converter. And again, it's only there to measure the efficiency of the catalytic converter. If it sees a wavelength coming out of the cat of a rich lean, it assumes that the cat is bad. If you have a circuit code, go ahead and replace this sensor, or I would replace it first. But you might have a circuit issue such as a bad ground or an open wire somewhere. If you have a catalyst efficiency below threshold code, I would assume that the catalytic converter is bad and needs to be replaced. If you live in California or a smog state, New Jersey, New York, maybe Texas, I believe, you might need a compliant CAT for your vehicle. So make sure you understand the rules when you replace the catalytic converter if needed. Hopefully this video helps you out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody about me. If you have any questions or if you have a code that you are trying to chase, make sure comment below. Send me a message. I'll do my best to reply as soon as I can, and we try to do our best to help a ton of people. Like, subscribe, share. Let me know what kind of vehicle you're working on. I'll see you on the next hopefully helpful video. Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies.